Hello everyone, my name is Madhur and I am the founder of Equate Network. At Equate, we are building a governance protocol for decentralized societies using soul-bound tokens. Primarily, the difference between a DAO and a decentralized society is that DAOs are based on coin voting mechanism, which means the more number of coins that you have, the more voting power you have. Whereas in case of a decentralized society, it is based on the credentials and the properties that you have acquired through SPTs. So at present, the main problem that Web3 is facing is, civil attacks, phishing attacks, and governance attacks. All of these are primarily related to the identity of a user. And the scariest part is that, for these attacks, you don't even need to, know coding. These are all social engineering based attacks. And that is because inherently blockchain does not have the capability to identify the real user versus an attacker, and that's why credentials and these kind of attacks are happening. So what our product does is it creates a decentralized network environment where in order to solve these problems we need to ensure that three things are right. One is identity security, second is data integrity, and third is inclusive governance. So the product that we have built, simply put, it's like Google Forms on Web3 that can be programmed with SBTs, NFTs, and fungible tokens, but primarily driven by SBTs. The reason for choosing SBTs is that in case of NFT, it just provides proof of ownership, but SBTs can do much more than that. They can give you permission-based access. They can, they can also have multiple governance logics or voting logics, which we have built in the app, and it's a multi-chain protocol. So, talking about the competition, actually a lot of people are trying to solve this problem in different ways. Using SBTs, first of all, gives us an advantage and also enables unlocking of a lot of use cases which were not, there available earlier. So, for example, what makes us unique is that we are using an account-bound tokens-based architecture, which means NFTs and fungible tokens can be, let's say, locked and represented by soul-bound tokens. And this also gives a enhanced user experience because in our case you don't have to go to different in order to get your data monetized or go for under collateralized lending. You don't have to go to different apps or dApps and get those offerings. And finally, the best part is that in case of NFTs and fungible token, let's say if you lose your private keys, you lose your funds. They are not recoverable. But in case of SBTs, right, in case you lose a private key, using your social recovery group, which is a group of trusted people that you have assigned, you can recover your SBTs from an old wallet to the new wallet, ensuring that your funds are not lost. So a little bit about the token utility. Equate, which is the primary token, is used as license fee in the protocol. It also provides discounts and add-on services. So there are primarily three sides to our adoption. One is the direct to community, where users, community members, influencers, subject matter experts can come on the app. They can use the web app and mobile app, and participate in data monetization activities, share research data, campaigns, skill-based games, etc. So skill-based game, think of it like KBC or Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So just to reiterate, we are only focusing on skill-based games which are voting-based primarily and not the other kinds of games. Then secondly, our product also caters to the B2B segment where users can use it as a software as a service. So enterprises, research institutions, or advertisers can also leverage our product and reach out on a Web3 scale with the users. In this case, they can also have an API integration with their existing learning management systems or ERP solutions that they have. And finally, the B2B2C model, where we offer platform as a service, where native Web3 protocols, for example, a gaming app or metaverse, they can also utilize our architecture and issue soul-bound tokens to give reputations, rankings, and different forms as per their use case. There are four models how we make money. One is freemium, subscription, pay as you go, and pay in areas as well. So basically, it also unlocks buy now pay later kind of functionalities. Then, so we had launched this application, the MVP in Feb this year on Polygon, and we have currently about 3,000 users, all organic. We have already issued about 450,000 account-bound tokens. I would like to highlight here that in our platform there are two kinds of account-bound tokens. One is the SBT, popularly known as SBTs, which are non-transferable, non-fungible tokens, and the other ones are non-transferable fungible tokens, NTFTs. And we have already done about 50,000 transactions on-chain. We've also minted about, not as in us, but the users have minted about 120k worth of data NFTs. So these are shared data research happening on the platform where people participate in surveys and different forms of questionnaire, and they create an intellectual property. Whenever that intellectual property is accessed by, let's say, a third party, right, they get monetized, they can claim royalty over it. We've also received 100k worth of grants from different chains, Polygon, Near, Algorand, etc. And yeah, so out of that, 25,000 worth of the tokens will be given back to the community in form of different campaigns. And it also enables existing communities, existing DAOs to upgrade themselves to a decentralized society. And finally, we also very recently got our first paid order, that is worth $7,000, where we are conducting or we are enabling end-to-end market research, a survey campaign using blockchain, where the data aggregation, the claim settlement, everything is done on-chain. And with partners like Youth for Work, which is a Web2 platform, which is connected to over 20,000 colleges and have 5.5 million users. We are integrating with them, and soon we'll be issuing their users soul-bound tokens on the basis of their skills. So how Youth for Work operates is that they conduct tests and different forms of assessments and then rank and rates students, primarily final year students, and connect them with the potential employees. So using our application, two things happen. One, the background verification is very easy and seamless as it allows information-based access, and the entire credential of a student, right, is there on is managed through SBTs. With this, I would like to conclude my presentation. We are building this, or we want to create a system or platform where anybody who wants to create their own DeSoc or join a DeSoc can do that. And eventually, we want to enable a system where, as per Balaji Srinivasan, the vision that he shares is that previously there was a time when people did not do or commit crime because they were God-fearing. Then there came a time they did not do it because they know that the state will punish them. But now, with the introduction of decentralized societies and network states, now the network will not let you get away with these kind of illicit activities. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, hello. I like the presentation. I'm just confused on a few things.
Sure.
My number one question is your core competency. Like, what do you guys do? Is it is it governance? Is it providing a governance system for people where they can vote and kind of have the DeSoc, as you call it, right? Is that what you do, or is it do you give out surveys that people can kind of give their answers for, and you collect data, or in the timeline, so you guys they don't have to go anywhere else. So is that then can they sell that data somewhere else, or so? I just want to know what is the main thing that you do.
Sure. So we started with a data cooperative where the MVP where we wanted to showcase that how DeSoc and not just DeSoc, SBTs can be utilized. So where primarily we started with conducting research and skill assessment via protocol. the next version 2 that we are now building is an enabler, right? It's a platform where, imagine, you have a Google form that is Web3 enabled. Anything that you can do with it. You can create a survey, you can, you can have a loan application form, membership form, those kind of. So we are creating a platform where users will decide what kind of functionalities and what kind of use cases they want to implement using our protocol. And governance is a part of it in a way that, typically in a DAO there is only single basic voting. In our case, there is quadratic voting, there is negative voting, there are plural voting, and many more such logics coming on chain. So nothing is off chain in this case.
But what are you pushing right now? What's the first channel which you want to push your users?
Enabler. Yes.
You mentioned that you already have some users who paid like 7,000. Can you tell us
No,
more?
they are not paying 7,000.
Okay.
We have an enterprise client. Like, for them we are conducting survey. We're going to conduct in the coming month within our network of users that are there. So this $7,000 worth of amount will be distributed on chain, right, to the users who participate in the survey and complete the data quality check. So anybody who just leaves the survey in between will not be monetized. People who do it in the stipulated time will get monetized and they can claim those tokens.
Okay. I just wanted to get like a better understanding of like an example of your use case, like just a user story, how someone would use what you are building. It can be like anyone. It can be B2B or.
So let me give an example. So we have partnered with IIT Goa and we are doing a pilot with them. So what we are doing with IIT Goa is that first they're going to issue the credentials, their certificates, to begin with it will be, character certificates and those kind of things using SBTs, which are revocable, updatable. Secondly, shared research data, because they are primarily a research institution. So, through surveys and different forms of research activities, whatever data is collected will be shared and the ownership will be distributed among the students or the contributors. And finally, employer verification. So, if currently the thing is on blockchain, either everything is public or everything is private. With SBTs, what we can do is, if an ex-employer wanted to verify a credential of, a student from IIT Goa, the institution or the student would give them a permission SBT, which would allow only that person to access the encrypted or hidden value data that, in order to verify that.
So current first phase, I can assume, is for headtech.
Yes.
Just one follow-up question. Do you have your own chain or are you on some?
No, so we started with Polygon, but the idea is, we are in EVM compatible and we want to be multi-chain, right? And for us, it's like wherever we get the best gas subsidy is, because that is one of the most important factors for us, being bootstrapped as well. So, since we have this kind of users coming, if you can't support that, then it's going to be a problem for us.
How are you going to tackle the fake account issues? Right? Fake wallets, for example, let's say IIT Goa gave SBT to a student, right?
Right.
And let's say that student forget his seed phrase or miss the wallet, right?
Right.
So the student had to come back to the IIT Goa
Okay.
and they'll transfer it to another wallet, right?
No. So how it's going to happen is, let's say once IIT Goa has already issued an SBT to a user, right? I'm that user, I somehow lost my private keys. Now, while setting up my account on Liquid, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my social recovery group, which means, there are 5 to 10 people or my friends who I know them personally and who know me personally. In case I lose my wallet, I'm just going to create a 30-second video from the app, which is going to go for an on-chain voting to my social recovery group. And then on the basis of on-chain voting, not multi-sig, the SBT from the old wallet will get burnt and will be minted into the new wallet.
That would be the smart contract, right?
Yes, everything is smart contract.
So IIT Goa won't have the
No,
power to burn the...
No. So it depends, like in case if they wanted to revoke a certificate, that power is with them, right? But in case they have already issued an SBT and now the person has lost the private keys, in this case it will be, happening via a social recovery. Got it.
So let's say I have an SBT and then I want to kind of participate in the survey.
Right.
So would I be minted another SBT?
No, so that's a very good question. There are 2-3 ways to look at it or do it. currently what we're doing is essentially when we talk about survey, there are preset quotas. So, for example, you want 50% of females from a certain age group, right? So, first of all, that filtering will happen on the basis of the SBTs already issued. So, through various forms. And only those people with those properties will be able to participate and their vote will be counted.
Got it. So these SPTs will keep on evolving.
Yes.
They keep doing this
Yes.
and data will get.
Correct.
Not a question, just an observation or just an opinion actually.
Sure.
I feel that if you kind of go this way, you'll get stuck in the survey part and you keep getting data and you'll get the SBT and it will have value for advertisers and all of that and there's no problem there. But if that's what you want to do, then it's fine. But I think you will be drawn away from the governance part of it and the DeSoc kind of part of it.
No, actually,
So that's something
sure,
that.
sure. No, that's very rightly said. And the idea is not to fix ourselves to data governance or data monetization. It's just that it's a very new concept, and we first want to educate users how these things can happen while solving a real issue. Because in market research, there is a big problem of data manipulation, fraudulent data, and all those things. So we are saying that this was our MVP, and because the kind of enabler platform that we want to make involves a different kind of text building on its screen. So that's why now the core focus will be in becoming the enabler. While it also helps us in getting some revenue, and if there are any bugs or things that can improve, we get the time to do that.
And one thing you can kind of check out is maybe working with Lens Protocol to use their NFT and kind of add on top of that. That
Actually,
will be used everywhere.
Sure, but so in a way we have created our own Lens Protocol kind of a thing where the same thing we are offering to the others, except that they're only offering NFTs. Here we are offering SBTs that can have programmable NFTs. So basically, imagine that right now we all are holding NFTs in our wallet. Imagine a situation where all NFTs, fungible tokens, are logged in the smart contract, and that representation of ownership is in the form of SBT, right? So that gives an additional layer of security. In case you lose your wallet, you can still recover. And if you tag them with a biometrics, then nobody else on your way up can, steal those funds. So that's the reason we were focusing on SBTs at the core.
Thank you.
Thank you.